here with a new friend, Rian, and we are going to do a little tarot reading. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Rhian. I'm from Wales originally, Croeso, which means welcome in Welsh. I love tarot. I think it's provides a really good roadmap to decisions that we can make and an idea of sort of guiding us along. And I'm excited to read some cards today.
Awesome. We have this book, The Library of Questions, which has some fun, like not super traditional and sometimes downright silly spreads and prompts in it that we've used before. And the one that we are using today is one for the solstice, which is coming up in a few days here. It's called 5 Herbs, a good luck spread for Litha. It is said that 5 herbs gain magical powers on the night of midsummer, and the five herbs are St. John's wort, shamrock, rue, rose, and verbena. So we're gonna go through those and draw some cards and see what we find. St. John's wort, what will cleanse your life from anything old and unwanted? I gotta move my coffee cup here.
Here we go.
I actually just drew this a couple of days ago. So I've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is a card about abundance and how you distribute it, right? How do you share it with the people around you? How have you worked to accumulate that abundance? And it's interesting that that is what will cleanse your life from anything old and unwanted, because I think most of us want our abundance, right? So maybe this is saying that you need to prune. Like, I think of pentacles a lot of the time as being actual seeds, like gardening, right? And you can't overcrowd your garden with plants. You have to give them room. So sometimes you have to pull out things that are good plants because they are not leaving room for the ones around them to grow.
Yeah, I like that. That's good advice. I chose the Seven of Wands. She looks like a fierce creature.
She does.
She looks like she's fought to be here, and she's worked really hard. Seems to be surrounded by caged slightly, and that could be in the way of judgments of others, or there could be ideas coming in. I'm feeling envy or jealousy. So for me, the question would be kind of a check-in with friends and maybe acquaintances around you to see who's really supporting your journey and who's here to help you along the way. And if they're not, then possibly think about, spending more time with those people who want to build you up and push you forward. So I would say pruning away really those energies around you that maybe aren't lifting you up and sort of driving you forward, or even just nourishing the soul when you spend time with them. So who do you leave feeling better, and who would you leave from spending time with feeling better, and who are the ones that leave you drained? And so making that a priority over the next sort of coming sort of weeks and months, really until the next solstice, I would say.
Absolutely. Like, prune away to protect your
Hey.
peace of mind, to prune away the people and situations that are not helping you grow.
I like that. She's courageous. I think the people who are listening here are very courageous. And the job of pruning away can sometimes be difficult, can't it? So it's just that whole idea of maintaining the idea of, who you're growing into and who supports that in the way of that forward journey. I like it.
That you said who you're
Good
growing into, and that is my personal situation right now, is what from my, there's drama, right, in the past, and it's difficult to let go of. But that's not
Yeah.
who I want to grow into.
No, and I think very often the decision about when you're in this liminal space between that person that was you and that those old clothes and those old identities fitted you really well for a really long time, and then who you are growing into hasn't really been materialized, and so that bit in between where you're like, who do I keep?
Yeah.
Who doesn't come with me on the journey? And those decisions when you're attached to people who have had a really big impact in your life, and actually not always negative, sometimes really
Mhm.
positive, but
Yeah.
they're for a season. And so if people are for a season and then we try and take them into the next season, they often don't fit for us, and they, it just it's uncomfortable, isn't it? But yeah, no, decisions to prune people are really tough. But I'm getting better at it. As I'm getting older, I'm getting so much better at sort of really using my intuition and checking in on my body to say who feels good. Who do I feel good around? Who am I
Yeah.
feeling uplifted when I'm spending time with them? And then they become the big yes for spending time and
Mhm.
company with, and then others become the no. And there doesn't have to be a big no, does it? It can
Mhm.
be a gentle no, which is available. But and slowly trying to fill my time and that drama and clearing out that drama, but still maintaining an exciting life
Yeah.
that isn't,
Yeah.
yeah, good, getting into the good right type of trouble, which I which
Good
I'm trying to
trouble.
do with right clarity.
All right. So in our second position, we have Shamrock. What will bring you luck and success?
Could do with some of that, Lynn. Could you do with some luck and
I could
success?
do with a little luck and success.
I'm drawing that in, definitely. What are we going to have?
All right. The card that I drew is not a part of the traditional deck. This is one of my extra cards, but I have Eat the Strawberries, which for me is a card about looking for unexpected little moments of joy and pleasure during times that are otherwise troubled, right? Like you are in the middle of something, you're like, I don't have time to be sitting here doing something just for fun, doing something just because it feels good in the moment,
Mm,
but you do. You have to grab those moments when they appear. And for in terms of bringing luck and success, I would say this says be on the lookout for things like don't let yourself miss the opportunity because you were so busy being stressed, right? You're busy, busy, busy. You have many things to do. Keep your eyes open for the strawberries.
I like that. I ate about 10 strawberries before I came online.
Perfect.
They're in season here and absolutely delicious, which I love. So I'll take that on board. And also, I think it's that idea of looking for the glimmers of stuff that really
Mhm.
lights you up and just finding the joy in that. And I try to do that very often, but sometimes harder than it seems, to be honest. And I got the Emperor.
Ah.
And for me, this person looks really in their comfort zone on this throne, on this throne ruling. There's a lot of structure and authority and this inner knowing to this person. And I think for me, and the thing that's going to bring luck is those consistent discipline of those little bits. I don't like the
Mm.
word discipline, but consistently showing up for yourself
Mm-hmm.
on the days that it feels tough, on the days that it feels hard. Really, really showing up and trying to do something small every day. That almost like that Saturn energy of there's an engine running underneath that consistently turns up and just does, only if it's a small bit every day, to keep pushing forward with projects and ideas and that growth and what you're moving into. And that could be a change in routine in the way of diet or exercise, things that really start to bring about this more holistic, beautiful, warm, and loving life. But it requires consistency. So I'm feeling like luck comes in the way of just really turning up for yourself every day and saying yes and keeping this. I like emperors, like this steady heartbeat, that it's just always there, just underneath the surface, keeping things going, a really warm presence, but understands understands what needs to be done in order to achieve the dream, and consistently turns up for that. So I like this card. It's a nice one. And there's this golden sky in the background, which I think if you do that, then the world around you becomes warm and rich. So I'm feeling that for that steady consistency.
I like that. I like that. And like steady consistency is how you prepare the ground for
Mhm.
opportunities, right? If you are not in the habit of doing the things, then they don't come to you naturally when the moment comes that you need them.
Exactly. And it's almost like by the time it arrives, you're so well practiced in it, you welcome it as opposed to being intimidated by the opportunity. And I think that's really the power of steady, that steady heartbeat, doing what you need to do every single day. Just a little bit. It doesn't need to be this whole Tony Robbins driving yourself into the ground, working 16 hours a day. I'm not feeling that. And I
Yeah.
think actually the feminine, for the deep feminine, there's an ebb and flow to life which really hasn't been appreciated over many years. We're not machines. And so that idea of gentle consistency.
Yes.
So I'm not, not absolutely, 22 hours a day and then, cash, cash, cash. But um community dreams, and dreams come together when we turn up and we hold the vision of what we
Yes.
do.
All right.
What's the next one then? I'm
Yeah, it's good.
excited.
um, number 3 is Rue. What will protect you and your endeavors?
Oh,
I have the Magician,
magician.
which is a card about being able to accomplish things because you have all your tools on hand. You have them organized, you know where everything is, you have practiced, you know how to use them all. You are prepared with your tools and your resources for whatever is going to happen. And as protection, that's pretty good, right? Like, get your stuff
Yeah,
together so that you are ready to respond to things that come at you unexpectedly.
yeah, I love that. Magician's one of my favorite cards because I feel like you've got the tool belt, haven't you? Because very often we feel so unprepared
Yeah.
for life, and we feel unprepared for opportunities, and we don't think we're skilled enough or we haven't got enough experience. But the magician tells me actually everything you need you already have with
Hmm.
you carry it with you everywhere you go. And so it always gives me such hope when I see the magician, because I think, oh gosh, all of that talk that really tells me that I can't do it is actually rubbish.
Yeah.
Get get to it, get to it, I like it. And if you feel sure that you have those skills, then you go in with a different attitude into opportunities,
Absolutely.
don't you? I feel like, if I feel ready and I think, well, I can do this, I'm fine with
Hmm.
this. Yeah, I've got all the skills. I approach people, opportunities so much differently.
Absolutely.
And I thought the Empress.
Lovely.
And for those of you who are not in a coupling like me, I feel like there could be a power couple thing going on here with the
Absolutely.
Emperor and the Empress. And I think, we're talking about what could protect you, and she's all about love. And
Hmm.
so, that could be, and that doesn't necessarily, and there are people out there who do not want to invite another person into their lives, and I totally get that. And that could be sort of just leading with love. You protect yourself by
Hmm.
leading with love. And there's a difference between being naive with love and actually making decisions with love. So if you make
Absolutely.
a decision from your heart space, and I try to do that every day, what would my heart say? If I could do this with full heart, what's my big yes here? What's my big heart yes? And then I'm protected in those decisions because I often feel like spirits guiding me in those decisions. And I've had a couple of opportunities in the last few weeks to kind of test the whole heart based stuff, and when I haven't followed it, I've always been disappointed with the decisions I've made because it hasn't been right. And when
Yeah.
I've gone in with a full heart, knowing it's the right decision and it feels good, I always have an amazing experience. So I think she is about developing community. She's sitting there. She is welcoming love. She's exuding love. And I think it's just that opportunity just to, yeah, just to just to really make people feel loved and valued, and your own self as well. So yeah, I'm feeling that for that one.
The other thing about the
And
Empress is people talk a lot about it being as like mothering energy, right?
yeah,
But mothers not only are loving, ideally, but they're fiercely protective,
yeah,
right? Mothers will go to amazing lengths to protect their kids. And I
yeah,
think that it's not like it's not the aggressive protection that we would associate maybe with the emperor, calling up an army. It's a gentle protection, but that doesn't make it any less protective, right?
I think, yeah, and I think, if you think about the boundary nature of what she has to offer, she says no, and you can say no. And we were talking about that with the last card. You
Hmm.
can say no, or the Seven of Wands, which is all about pick your people. And you can say no really gently around, I don't that doesn't really suit me for a job, or for evenings out, or spending time sometimes with family when we go and do that, and it doesn't feel right for us in the moment. And as you say, that whole protective quality is just saying, I know how to mother myself. I
Hmm.
know how to look inside and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So yeah, no, I love that. And she just seems to be, there's a confidence there as well, isn't it? Just going in and
Absolutely.
doing exactly what she needs to do. So beautiful. And and Venus in Leo. So all about that. So we're yeah, could be love coming in. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Can you imagine?
I'm sorry?
I'll come back and let you know. Can you imagine? I'll come back if I find my emperor and I'll let you know, Lynn.
Excellent.
He's
Yeah.
out there somewhere. Big shoulders and all. Right, what's the next one?
All right. Next, whoops. Man, I have cards just flying out of my deck here. Behave yourself. Next, we have Rose. What will make this season beautiful? I don't know. Venus in Leo is going to be beautiful whether you like it or not.
I think so. And do you know what? For many years, I've been single for many years, and for the last since Venus went into Leo, and also Jupiter now going in to Leo, I've been approached so much more in the last probably 3 weeks than I have done in years, which I find really bizarre. Maybe it's because I'm a Leo sun, Leo rising, and a
Mm.
Virgo moon. I've got a lot of Leo in my chart. A lot, a lot.
I am also a
Double
Leo,
Leo.
and I have my Venus in Leo.
No way. You have Leo sun.
Yeah,
You're like, oh my god, double Leo's right here. I love that. Leo's my favorite people. Could be biased.
could be, maybe a little. So this is also funny because what I just drew is the Queen of Wands, and it's me.
Love it.
Um, so what do we have here? Oh, what will make the season beautiful? So the Queen of Wands for me is a card about creativity.
Yeah,
So what will make the season beautiful for me is leaning into the creative side of actually making things, using my hands, putting things out
yeah,
into the world that I have birthed from my sewing room here or whatever, right? Grow things,
love it.
make things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think what comes with that is slowing down as well, isn't it? Because you can't make things quickly, can you? I
No.
think people think that whole idea of just getting so, and I can see all of those beautiful colors that come from you as well. And life becomes so much more colorful when you start creating. I've started sewing myself hands, sewing course, and I have so much more respect for garments now that I'm making
Right?
them myself. And
And there's no
when you
rushing it.
start, yeah, when you're birthing something, and being a mum as well, the love that I have for my children and all of my projects that I birth, it just feels, yeah, it's something that really can't be described. There's such a pride in that, isn't it?
Hmm.
Just putting those ideas, bringing stuff around. And I got the Page of Cups.
Nice.
And I feel like this is about new inspiration, new emotions, really
Hmm.
just being just this childlike joy coming back. And that's what's going to
Hmm.
make it beautiful. I described to my friends I was going to have a summer of fun this summer because I've had a summer of seriousness for many years. And I thought this year I'm welcoming so many more opportunities for joy. And I notice when I welcome that, the world just becomes so much more beautiful to me. I enjoy spending time with people and animals and my children so much more when we are laughing and joking. And just inviting all of those really joyful emotions to overflow in this, youth-like exuberance coming through. I'm also seeing water, and I do find there's so much more beauty spending time next to water because I've got so much fire and earth in my chart. It's the missing element for me. I have a lot of air actually, but I'm fire air, so I'm sort of up here all the time. So finding the beauty in slowing down to the flow of life as well. So there's joy in playing in water, being around water, and taking time to just be present and to just look at the world through a child's eyes again.
Hmm.
That's where I'm feeling myself to find the beauty of that.
I love it.
Recognizing the tiny little things that really make the world wonderful, you know?
Absolutely.
There's a mythologist called Michael Meade, and he said there's a moment of eternity in each and every day. And I try and look for that moment. It could be the sun breaking through a cloud, or it could be my son laughs so beautifully. So looking for those tiny little things that really bring me back into the beauty and joy of life, for sure.
Awesome. All right. And as in our final position, we have Verbena. What will enhance your power and bring some magic?
Mm. Yeah, okay. We could do with a bit of magic. I believe in magic. Do you, Lynn? Do you believe in magic?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I
Yeah.
dropped some cards, so I'm going to give you two. What I drew is the Queen of Swords, and this is now the third queen that I have drawn in this 5-card spread. So whatever is going on this summer
Queens
is
and two here. So there's 5 queens in this. I love it.
this is going to be a summer of big feminine energy. It sounds like
Yeah.
in charge feminine energy, right?
Yeah.
The Queen of Swords is well, you can see I've drawn her as Wonder Woman here. She is all about the facts. She is not taking any of your nonsense. She is not going to stand for any of this farting around and being messy with the facts, the details, right? She
Yeah.
wants it to be done right.
Like that.
And then the card
Like
that fell out is the Lovers, which doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, although it could be. This is more about the energy that you are getting back from the people that you love in your life, right? Are you getting the same kind of energy that you were putting towards them? And if not, is that the relationship that you want? So, in terms of enhancing your power and bringing some magic, I would say be real clear eyed about who you are giving your energy to. Like, don't let yourself be fooled or fall into the illusion that something is going more smoothly than it is.
mm, like it. And I think we've had astrologically, there's been so much illusion, hasn't there? It's been like a decade of it, of just falling under for me, there has falling under the idea of believing what I'm being told instead of what I'm witnessing, and that idea of just going with behavior. And so she sees clearly, doesn't
Yes.
she, Queen of
Yes.
Swords, and she cuts off and cuts out the things and the people who are not their words, their behavior is matching their words. And I
Yes.
I am focusing on that really clearly for myself, which is, look, you've said that, but your behavior is doing this. So I'm
Hmm.
going to have to believe behavior. And I've got the Three of Wands, which I really like. And I think it goes quite closely with the Emperor for me in the reading, which is about you kind of perusing the horizon and looking at what's ahead, and you're putting some really strong plans in place, but you're
Mhm.
not acting on it quickly, which I really like. And very often I love to this card for me doesn't often it suggests travel because for me I get a much clearer perspective on my life and the bigger picture when I move and I go to somewhere different.
Yes.
And that doesn't have to be too far away. But I would suggest maybe a little road trip,
Mm.
possibly. I'll be taking one where you can, yeah, get a bit of it's outside of your comfort zone where
Mhm.
you can start to sort of look at the land and to see what you've sort of some of the seeds you planted and some that are to come as well. And also just to think, right, where do I want to be by the next solstice? What am I looking to achieve? Who am I looking to bring in? And what are those little steps that I can do every day, which get me to this end point of, sort of the plans and whatever else. And she stood there really strong. It's not a weak position. It's that, and it
Mhm.
feels like that in between we were talking about earlier, Lynn,
Mhm.
that whole old life has gone a little bit, new life isn't quite here realized. And so this is like this whole in between place, this liminal space where you're kind of just thinking, right, okay, I can see, right, which plans are going to come to fruition and what am I looking to achieve in the next few months. So yeah, and I think that will bring the magic is kind of getting those ideas
Mhm.
together, putting it, kind of that big picture thinking of where I want to be, and the little steps then get you towards that end goal.
That's
Yeah,
great.
nice, nice spread.
Yeah. Looking realize this is probably not great video here where I'm just sitting here looking at my desk, but so lots of queens,
Yeah, lots of
lots
queens.
lots of being open to opportunity and plans, but being real clear about what is useful in getting you to those plans and what people around you are going to help you get there and who is not.
And I didn't get any swords. I don't know if I can't remember if you did. And so for me, there's a focus on being embodied as opposed to being up here in your head and
Mhm.
overthinking things. Or I got a couple of wands cards about action. I've got obviously the Emperor and Empress, which are people who really stand in their power, who are
Mhm.
grounded, who know their worth and know how they want things to look, or they're certainly good at putting that plan together. Um, and then obviously this whole playful idea of lots of cups and the Page of Cups and sort of bringing that playfulness in as well. So
Yeah.
you don't have to be all of one thing. It doesn't necessarily all have to be serious. You can put plans in place, but they can also be joy in the creation of and
Just for
building
fun.
in the strawberry. Eat, pick and eat the
Yes.
strawberries. I love it. Oh, yes, I love that. And also the color red as well, which is really nice, that whole joy. And it's yeah, it's just sweet, isn't it? Like life can be sweet, can't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and
We
looking for those opportunities.
yeah, we don't have to be all judgment all the time, right? We
No.
get to also play.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna take that on board.
Yay. Well, thanks for joining us,
Try.
and I'm going to turn the video off.